back to you.
All right, Richard Engel, thank you. We're joined now by two people who will get a chance to question James Comey this morning, two members of the Senate Intelligence Committee, Republican Senator James Lankford of Oklahoma and Democratic Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia. Senators, good morning. I've already observed it's nice to have a little bipartisan cooperation already this morning. You've obviously both read the Comey statement. If you take every fact as true, do you think what he alleges is inappropriate conduct by the president? For example, asking for a loyalty oath.
Yeah,
if that's true, is that inappropriate?
It is inappropriate. That was the first week of the presidency, describes that, and what it looks like is that Trump is basically saying this to everybody. We know that from other cabinet officials. He made that same statement that he's treating Comey the same way.
Do you believe Comey's statement then?
I do. I don't have any question with that. It sounds like something the president would say that he said to other cabinet officials. And that Comey was very careful to say that it felt awkward, but didn't get close to saying it was criminal.
Do you think it would be inappropriate, for example, to ask for
I don't think anybody thinks it wasn't inappropriate. That's something we wouldn't do. I was the former governor and executive, and there's kind of a do's and don'ts. You don't really mess with your intelligence. You don't mess with your law enforcement or your security details.
That's step one then. The next part is, according to Comey, the president saying, I hope you can see clear to let this Flynn matter go. Up to interpretation what exactly he meant. Well, is that inappropriate?
Well, I would think that Did Mr. Comey anticipate or think that that might lead towards his dismissal if he wasn't submissive? Those types of things, what he felt at that time, because I think in his testimony he said he thought he'd already been named for a 10-year term, and then all of a sudden he was asked, do you really want this job? Is this a job you're going to seek? Do you want to stay on this job? People, I understand if you wouldn't want to be there. So there's a lot of questions in his mind. And did he think he was threatened? So that'll be a question to be asked.
But when you look at this, you look at these facts, and then now we know how it ends in the sense that Comey got fired. He was, in fact, fired from a 10-year position. Does this amount to obstruction of justice on the facts as you see them in this statement?
A couple reasons I would say no for that. One is, again, Comey comes back and says it's awkward, it was uncomfortable, especially that time in February. That was February the 14th in particular in this conversation about Michael Flynn to say, can we let this go? But he also, Comey, at that same moment said he was not pressured to stop the Russia investigation. He was not pressured to back off anyone else. He felt like it was just about Flynn, not about the rest, and Comey states that in his testimony. That's very different, and one of the things I want to ask is, what else happened after that? Were there other conversations with other White House officials?
Comey does have many statements in here that would in some way be beneficial to President Trump. In fact, President Trump says he feels vindicated by this statement. On the other hand, what Comey describes is asking others to leave the room and having Comey stay behind. And doesn't that suggest to you some kind of consciousness on the part of the president that maybe this was not appropriate behavior?
I've got to say that I've been in a setting with the president before, and he's asked people to leave so we could talk about different things we were going to talk about. It was pertaining to West Virginia, how we could help West Virginia, and things of that sort. So I don't find that alarming whatsoever. I think, you asked the question to James about, do you think that was obstruction of justice? It's not whether we think it's obstruction of justice, it's whether Comey thought it was obstruction of justice.
Is it?
But he has to answer that. He had a ringside seat. Did he believe? Did he feel that? He's a law. I'm not a lawyer. He's a lawyer.
But if he were still FBI director, perhaps it would matter whether he felt it was obstruction of justice. But now it's in the hands of Congress. On these facts, does that rise to the level of obstruction of justice?
We haven't gotten to those facts yet.
Yeah, and I would tell you, again, he doesn't even get close to that in his written statement. In 7 pages, he reaffirms, yes, I told the president 3 times that you're not under investigation, never felt pressured to be able to stop the Russia investigation, never felt pressure. In fact, he articulates in it that the president said, you've told me I'm not under investigation. If there are, as the president described in Comey's statement, if there are satellite individuals that are part of our campaign, continue moving forward. In fact, he encourages Comey to continue moving on any other investigation. But he seemed to say, clear my name at least because I'm not in this.
Do you agree with the president in a former tweet when he said that this Russia investigation is, in his words, a taxpayer-funded charade?
No, I don't. No, I think this is about the president and the presidency. I think we've got to get to all the facts. This is what this investigation really is. Let's go after the facts as they are. Let's resolve the fact issues, and then let's move on whichever way it goes.
The facts basically show that Russia got involved more than ever before, intended to be more involved, and done more than they've ever done before. So with that, there's no doubt, no question whatsoever on that.
You're a Republican. Do you hope he tweets through this hearing?
I don't. Doesn't matter whether I hope he's going to. There's no way to stop that.
At the end of the day, James and I sent in this committee. At the end of the day, we have to write off or sign off on a report. But the facts has been presented to us. I can tell you, this is one committee that will sign off on the facts, and no one's above the law. And no matter whether it's the president or anybody else in his administration will, and if not, I'm not going to sign off. So we're going to make sure we get the facts out to people.
Yeah, let's go where the facts go.
Senator Lankford, Senator Manchin, a Republican, a Democrat, sitting here, Washington, under scrutiny today, so it'll be good to watch. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. And a reminder, we're going to have special live coverage of the Comey hearing. It starts 10 a.m. Eastern right here on NBC. Guys,